Hey, hey. Mm-hmm. The fuck is that? Damn it, there's crap all over my shirt. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh, what the hell? Breaking out an old school shirt because I can't find any other shirts.
I suppose that's a good reason, isn't it? You?
Yeah, so my NRG shirt from Smart World Championship like 2015 or 16 or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Booyah, bitches.
Why not? It
Yep.
works.
Indeed. All right. What are you doing? Yeah, you.
Who, me?
Oh, I missed a step, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
I'm just getting some oxygen, you.
I didn't pour my Mountain Dew. 1 second.
See, I was yawning on your behalf.
Oh, I need that too. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. All right, and now for the pour.
The mighty, mighty pour. Very important part of the process to make Charlie whole.
All righty. Let's see what we can do. All right, Zealeus, talk real quick. Let me just make sure your level's right.
I'm talking really quick to make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good. Do you want to talk really quick the rest of the time too?
Excuse me.
What about really slowly?
Let's not say you did.
Do you have a preferred speed?
Your normal speed would be great.
What is normal, sir?
Your average speed?
I don't know. I think you just asked for trouble by telling me to speak my average.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
What?
Born in Liberty open beta. I might have to sign off early.
All right, here we go. A 3, a 2, a 1. Record. Mute Zealeus. Because that's what all the cool kids are doing. And then we'll start the show. and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Alta Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. Ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific comer himself, Zealeus.
How goes it? It's been too long, good sir.
We have unfortunately been off for 2 weeks because there was 4th of July, and then I was on vacation.
What celebrates America's birthday better than a podcast, though?
I had to wait until way after our show window on the 4th of July to actually see the fireworks. So we probably could have gotten the show in and then me gone over to watch the fireworks. But that's besides the point.
Yeah, I'm sure that would have gone really well
absolutely.
with the family.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, the Thursday Night Hangout. It's a live show where we try our best to cover the topics most important to you during the show. At any time during the show, if you'd like to add your voice, be it for comments, opinions, topics, questions, subject matters, please do so by dropping it in any of the chats, be it Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, and we will try to get to them through the show. If we unfortunately do run out of time, we will add it to the very next show. So without further ado, let us get into things. And the first thing we got to get into is the fact that Nintendo, of course, continues to be busy with their lawsuits, and this time they're going after a Switch mod chip seller and the Switch piracy Reddit moderator. Big surprise.
I guess Nintendo really wants to keep their lawyers busy, make sure that they have a good resume and CV by continuously going after potentially pirated sites.
Yes, they're going after a gentleman by the name of Ryan Daly, who operates a store called Modded Hardware, and the r/Switch Pirates moderator Archbox, whose real name is James Williams. Now, I
will believe you.
So I'm a little confused about the moderator on the website, right? Because
I guess they look at it, probably my assumption is they look at it no differently than if I have a website and I'm distributing the ROMs there, people have been sued over that, right? Or a forum or whatever you want to call it. And I mean, Reddit is basically a website/forum hosted by Reddit Incorporated. So in Nintendo's logic of thinking, it's basically the same thing if you have your own subreddit that in their mind is promoting piracy. I'm assuming that's their train of thought, that by having this, they are facilitating the piracy.
Okay, so I read a little bit more into this while you were talking, just because I was
You realize completely bullshitting?
No, you're basically right. Basically, what they're going after is the fact is the defendant has posted thousands of comments and messages to Switch Pirates Reddit group. Defendant's posts have included, by way of example, messages directing users to pirate shops, offering technical advice and encouragement to other users about how to use the pirate shops, how to download and install circumvention software, which I think is the big one, in my opinion, and how to play pirated copies of Nintendo Switch games.
Yeah, so, I mean, from Nintendo's logical perspective, that is very much in line with how Nintendo has operated for many, many years.
I'm always curious about, like, with this, where the heck are they? When it's an international lawsuit, how they deal with that.
Well, that's a great question, of which I have no idea because the
gentleman who's the Reddit moderator, he lives in Arizona, by the way.
I would assume they're suing in the United States then, of some sort, somehow, some way.
And the pirate shop owner is federal in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo has U.S. offices, subsidiaries, et cetera, et cetera. So they could just roll out in the United States. Send them, it's like playing
Yep.
Monopoly, send them straight
True.
to jail.
True. What's I do want to point out that Alta Confusion does not, um, uh, you know, support pirating of software. Um,
I support pirating of the Ultra Confusion
they,
podcast.
until it's behind the paywall, which will never happen. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's to say. What would actually have to happen for us to put it behind a paywall? I can't really
I think
imagine
the
the
only way that
circumstance.
Alta Confusion stuff would go behind a paywall is if it became like a Patreon thing. Like we had enough patrons
Mm.
to warrant like early peeks at or access to like the reviews and the interviews and the show and stuff like that. But then again, the show is live, so it'd have to be a special show.
Well, what I have seen, well, yeah, that's what I've seen. Some of especially some of the artists that I follow on Patreon, like musical artists, they'll do like a private, not
Yeah,
concert, but like conversation with some of their higher tier patrons. And to me, that's a pretty cool way of doing it. If somebody's willing to give you X amount of money a month, and it's
yep,
worth your monetary while to spend an hour or two with your fans, and the fans obviously get that out of it.
yeah.
I think
I
that's
I,
cool.
I completely agree. Um, so moving on now. There is to continue the streak of sadness. I swear to God that
We're gonna start calling this the sad, alter your sadding
alter your
confusion.
confusion and become
No,
sad.
how?
Um, no,
Yes, sadding
so
confused.
let's just get through. Let's try to rip this badass band-aid off real quick and go through a couple of studios that have been hit with the closing bell. And
Oh
the
dear.
first one
Oh
is
dear.
a
Oh dear.
company called Axis Studio. This is an animation uh, bleh, VH. Oh my God, I can virtual effects VFX.
Ah,
For some reason, I can't say
X.
VF and
Yep.
X together. This is a company that's created many different cinematics for the Halo series. It's been around for 24 years. Um, they were uh, they were founded in Glasgow, Scotland, and they had two offices, one in
Ooh.
Bristol and one in London. Uh, unfortunately, it was 160 jobs lost, and it will be very interesting to see who can actually fill the void because they've been around for so long that um, they're kind of one of those main studios for like the Halo games and others.
So would they basically a subcontractor to do visual effects
For this,
for
basically
developers?
their main focus was especially for like Halo Infinite and Halo 4. They were basically all the cinematics. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So sad day.
Hmm.
Now here comes a nasty name. Embracer is at it again.
Oh gosh. I'm just gonna mute you now.
They are shuttering a company that has been around for it feels like for freaking ever, and the studio is called Piranha Bytes, and it may
Okay.
sound vaguely familiar, um, but here I'm going to try to pull up their list of games here. So they are the company behind all the Gothic, Risen, and
Hmm.
LX games. ELEX.
I'm familiar with the Gothic series.
I
Don't
thought
recognize the other ones.
would have sworn that there was another one there as well, but um, the studio basically shut down at the end of June. Um, However, there is a little bit of good news. Two Piranha Bytes veterans are opening a new studio. Piranha Bytes is based in Germany, and they tried desperately to find a new partner because I think Embracer's like, we're either going to close you or you got to find someone else. I don't know. Okay. The two veterans from Piranha Bytes are actually a married couple. Um,
Hmm.
I am not going to try to pronounce their. Well, what the hell? Bjorn and Jennifer
You don't think he'll get the correct?
Pankratz have formed the new studio, Pithead Studio. It'll focus on developing indie games, which is good. I like indie games. I'm a huge fan of indie games. If you haven't, like been around Alter Confusion for basically, I don't know, the last 10,
Ever?
15 years, because we've been around that long. Um, you know, so hopefully, I mean, I remember playing Goth. I mean, shit, Gothic came out 2001. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
an
when
older
was their
one.
last? LX2 was 2022. So they were on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox One, Xbox Series X slash S slash whatever. But yeah, Embracers at it again, just shuttering all their effing studios. Hooray!
You know, they're consistent. Something to be said for that, right?
I'm trying. I no. Let's
Yeah.
no.
No. No. Okay.
All right, let's talk about another thing that's closing down. This one, it's not a studio
Oh,
this time.
wonderful.
And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't even know that this thing was still alive and well, and that is the Xbox 360 marketplace is closing at the end of the month.
Ow.
So
Well,
if you want to have, basically, they are having a fire sale. So if there was ever a Xbox 360 marketplace game that you were ever interested in, go over there because you could probably get it for dirt cheap, and and you can add to your library. I don't even know. Actually, I do know where my 360 is. That would have been a lie if I said I didn't even know, because it's in.
I know where mine
Mine's
is.
in the
Mine's in a
closet
box over there.
behind, just off screen, right next to my PlayStation
Nice.
3. Right? Yeah, because I didn't get a 4. Did I get a 4? No. I stopped at 3. I don't remember.
I don't know either, man.
But yes, if you want to get in on all the awesome action of the 360 marketplace, now's the time to do it. You've
Now's the
got
time to go to
until
it.
July 29th. The discounts, the minimum of 40%, and many of the games are actually available for 80 to 90% off.
I mean, I guess if you're still a 360 gamer, then it's
If you
okay,
want,
go get some old
let's
games.
see here. Just I'm trying to read down. How about this? Would you like to have Splinter Cell Chaos Theory? It's $2.99. Or how about Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor? $4.99.
You mean all these games that go on
Yep.
sale on Steam for that exact same price?
Let's say you don't have a PC that's
Yep.
up to snuff, but you have a 360 that you've been dying to find some.
It'd be kind of impressive to have a working PC nowadays
true.
that's not more
true.
powerful than
This
360.
is true.
Just say. But there's
There's
dozens
individuals
of people
who
out there
survive on
who still
their Chromebooks and have consoles, or they
Sure.
survive on utilizing their smartphone their work computer and then their consoles. I was recently approached by a
Yeah.
old friend of the show to see if I would be willing to buy a new Xbox and the copy of a very popular game that just came out and join into a dynasty league. And I said no, thank you. No, it does not.
Does the game exist on the PC?
Yes, apparently
That's
EA decided
interesting.
that college football 2025 is only going to be on console.
Oh,
but
I was approached with the
the
same
problem
offer.
is that there's no cross
I was
platform
like,
play as of now.
yeah, there is.
Okay, well,
I looked.
when I had the conversation, it was that everyone had to be on the Xbox.
Huh. Interesting.
I think
Maybe
I
that's
think
changed. I don't
I
know.
think there's like limitations to the cross platform. Like you could probably play like an exhibition game, but I don't think you could do like the Dynasty League.
Uh,
Yeah, I
but
think
if
so.
you're doing a dynasty, then it's not the same. Could be. Because I looked online and it's like, yeah, you can do cross-platform play, but when you started getting to like the different types of play, I don't know what it even meant because I haven't played a football game since like Blitz.
I love the fact that every single time that that Zealeus and I have a conversation that revolves around sports games, and Zealeus's last game that he will drop every single time is, the last time I've really played a sports game is NFL Blitz. No, there's nothing wrong with the
Classic,
game. I
man.
just find it humorous that it'd be, I mean, not to some degree, it'd be like the last basketball game, which this would be an absolute lie for me to state this, but for me to come out and every single time there's a basketball game coming out saying, the last game I played was NBA Street. Ooh,
I was
NBA
gonna
Jam's
think
another
NBA
one.
Jam, but
I
whatever.
like Street.
What problem is I just don't like realistic sports games.
Yep.
Like I don't find them enjoyable. Kind of like like you don't like
Yeah.
FPS games that are like real. Like same thing with sports games. I liked NFL Blitz. I like NBA Jam. I like those type of off the hook type of sports games. I
Yeah.
find those entertaining and fun to play. But like super hyper realistic sports games where like you actually have to like know plays and like know what's going on, like it's just not
Also, not
as
gonna
fun
lie,
to me.
a lot of people, a lot of sports fanatics out there who play those games know how to basically control all 11 players at the same time. That's too many for me. That's why like a
Oh,
game like
they're good at it.
NBA Jam that has, I think, 3 players, or is it 2?
Mhm.
It's been so long.
Uh, I don't. Now you have me
It's
questioning
either
myself. I
2 or
don't
3,
remember.
and that's well within my wheelhouse. The same with NBA Street, which was basically, it was kind of like if you were to take a little bit of NBA Jam and then add like over the top, not realistic at all dunking contests. Because you would jump
Nice.
basically, the rim is a normal rim is 10 feet above the ground. You'd be jumping about 30 feet in the air, doing backflips and all kinds of crazy shit, and then coming down and not breaking a single bone.
No, it's remember like years ago they had that real basketball
Yeah,
game where
slam
like they
ball,
had like
baby,
trampolines and shit.
slam
And
ball.
like you could take like
Yep.
what? Is that what it was? You could take
Yeah.
like a half court shot. It was worth like 10 points,
Yeah.
which nowadays Steph Curry
You're
would be like,
speaking my
hell yeah.
language.
Maybe that was actually
No,
Steph Curry's calling
his
was to
calling
play
is to
slam ball.
play basketball in the NBA and then host a wacky miniature golf challenge TV show, or be the executive producer for it.
Ooh. Kind of sounds
This
like
is very
something
true.
Peyton Manning would do
I would
too.
not be surprised. Well, I'm sure that Peyton Manning's a producer on something weird and crazy as well out there. But yeah.
That's
By the way,
probably
the
true.
the name of the TV show that Steph Curry with the crazy miniature golf is called Holy Moly, and it's got Rob Riggles as one of
Nice. Definitely,
the hosts. It's
definitely have not seen
it's
that one.
funny, stupid stuff. I mean, you start with they do a couple holes and then the winner advances until it's down to the last two, and there's like a challenging thing you've got to do once after your first putt, you basically have to do some weird ass challenge to get close to the hole so you can putt again. It's kind of like if you were to mix Wipeout
Oh,
and miniature
okay.
golf, where you hit the ball and then you'd have to deal with some crazy, Wipeout, silly. I don't want to say Ninja Warrior because that's not right. Because there's no like if you're strong you shall survive. There's none of that. It's absolute pure luck. It's padded windmill blades spinning, and
Hmm.
you've got to wait for the right interval to duck underneath the windmill blade or get thrown into the water.
So you
Yeah,
basically got to be a Richard Gere from First Night. Yeah,
yeah,
there you go. Or you just got to be a knight. Who knew? We missed our training. All this. Ooh, an Elden Knight Master.
exactly,
They would
exactly.
be the
So,
perfect person.
anyways, all right. So I have this very interesting story. It's been a while since it was actually released. The news was released, but since we've been on break for a while, we didn't get to
It has
talk
been a
about
while.
this. But a for those who out there who don't know, when you are a developer and you are um, trying to get your game onto a platform like Steam or any kind of like PC or computer platform, you have to list minimum requirements, recommended requirements that just so that um, so that they know how marketable it is, and also get
It's also for gamers, so
exactly.
you know if you can play it on your
So
machine. Yeah.
there is an indie platformer. I'm assuming that by this point because the story that I found was dated June 28th. So hopefully that's to 20 days ago. So hopefully they fixed it. But at the time of this that article, there was an indie platformer out there called Bat to the Heavens, um, and
Okay.
the minimum system requirements on the Steam page listed the following: processor, 5 hamsters; graphics, 2,000 hamster brains; sound card, hamster surround sound; VR support, nope; additional notes, I hope it
Okay.
works. So yeah, and I've got an intruder. Hold on one sec.
And well, I mean, oh dear. I mean, I guess as long as you're upfront about your requirements in the form of hamsters, it's better than lying and saying like, "Oh, my game can run on a i3 core," when really it needs like an i5 with a super duper graphics card. So, eh, if it's gonna say I can run on hamsters, then more power to you.
Nope, I'm here.
It seems like we have lost our host.
No, I
Oh no, he's
sorry,
back. I
my
thought he ran away.
dog came down and was like rustling through like a bunch of stuff, and I didn't want her to get into any serious trouble.
Nice.
Um, so apparently, there's PETA should be getting involved with this. I mean, 2,000 hamster brains for graphics. That's it's a little steep. I mean, I'm sure that Valve just had like a good giggle about it. I'm hoping that someone wasn't that this was all kind of well
tongue in cheek,
the
cheek and
developer
tongue.
said he legitimately forgot that his requirements to change back his requirements to like actual stats when he sent it in for Steam approval. So, but hey, I mean, it's
Hmm.
I think that's the kind of fun, good publicity. I'm pretty sure it's probably still available on Steam.
I mean, I guess that's one way to
Yeah.
get some baby attention they otherwise would not have got is by having interesting, crazy things like that.
That
And sure,
to the heavens. It is still available on um, on Steam. Let's see here. Where are the requirements? I think they removed the requirements off because I don't see it anywhere. Oh wait, no, no, no,
oh,
no. Here it
well,
is. Here
I
it
want
is.
to know how many hamsters I
It
need to run this
still
game.
is. Oh Lord. So the minimum requirements
Oh dear.
is, of course, like I said, 5 hamsters, 2,000 hamster brains. Um, storage, it's 250 megabytes. Sound card, hamster surround sound. VR support, nope. Additional notes, I hope it works, but the recommended graphics is gigabarks. It's literally that's all it says is gigabarks.
Now, can you just get screenshots from the game so you can get like an idea of like does it
I'm
actually
looking at the
require any real
video and
computing power?
it's not going to break the bank. It's not Crisis.
Okay. Does it play crisis? That should actually be their minimum requirements. If I ever make
Yeah.
a game, that's going to have as my minimum system requirements. Can it play crisis?
And it looks like it was just submitted to Steam. It's not actually available to purchase yet. It is a planned release.
And I wonder how many hamsters it's going to cost to buy
No, no. What I
because
want to
it's
know is
only
how many
reasonable they have to pay in
hamsters
hamsters.
had to die in order for them to find out that 2,000 is the minimum requirement.
Maybe they have to kill it. Maybe they just set each hamster on a wheel, and until they got to the threshold of the number on the wheel, until the game could start, and that's how they knew how many hamsters it took.
Actually,
None actually got killed in the
that
process that
made me
way.
think of the old comic Calvin and Hobbes, and Calvin's dad is
Oh, gee.
explaining to Calvin how they know what the weight limit is for bridges. And the dad said they just keep driving heavier and heavier trucks over until the bridge falls over, and they just rebuild it.
That's something. If my dad told
Oh
me that
hell
when
yeah!
I was like
I'd be like,
5, I would have
that's
100%
such
believed
a
him.
good idea.
I'd be like, oh, cool.
And now now of course actually learning, how the real world works. You're kind of like, yeah, I'm pretty damn stupid for actually believing that at any point.
My favorite one though is always to get to like a tunnel or a bridge, and it's like maximum height 12 feet. I'm like, well, what the hell happens if I already get this far with a semi that's 13 feet? Do I just have to like
Yep.
slam on my brakes, hope I stop in time and turn around?
Yep.
Better
Yep.
have some good braking power, I guess.
I hope so. Anyways, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause real quick to thank the individuals who help Alta Confusion be the Alta Confusion that you love and adore. And these, of course, are our friends of the show. And so we will start off with the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts that challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. The next shout out we got to give, and also a little bit of a congratulations to the gentleman behind Noodle Boy Media. He just accepted a new job. He is leaving Kansas City and now moving to Baltimore, Maryland. That, of course, is Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously White Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. Now, the next one we got to do is surrounding individuals in the greater Atlanta area who have those aches and pains. Maybe it's from gaming just a little too much, or maybe you've been slouching in your computer chair, or maybe you just have, your normal aches and pains of everyday life, or maybe you pushed yourself a little too hard in your basketball game last night. Who knows? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. The next shout we got to give is to the music maestro himself, an individual who helped Alter Confusion out of a weird situation that we found ourselves in a couple years ago now, maybe. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Crosspad Creative.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Alter Confusion. Crosspad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he can do for you. The final shout out we got to give is to the original patron of Alter Confusion. That, of course, is Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both a development team and system administration team working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings and many times during, he is the Agile evangelist, Agile Axe, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information, go to agileaxiom.com. And of course, always check out his book. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are dying to know, how do I become a friend of the show? And that is very, very simple. All you got to do is go to our Patreon page. Alter Confusion survives on love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, swamp creatures, mummies, vampires, werewolves, supporters, and more to become active participants in work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. We currently have 2 tiers. They're both monthly subscriptions. There's the $1 tier, this $1 a month, or $12 a year. What they get you is early access to all of our playthroughs, as well as access to patron-only posts. Now, if you're feeling a little frisky and you want to have your name or organization added to the Friends of the Show section of every single Thursday Night Hangout, all you got to do is jump up to that $5 tier. That's $5 a month or $60 a year. And like I said, you get everything at the $1 tier and your name or organization added to the Friends of the Show section of every single Thursday Night Hangout. So if you want to become a patron of Alter Confusion, go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/Altered Confusion today. Now, of course, since we're doing Alter Confusion shoutouts, we of course have to talk about the fact that Alter Confusion is proud to say that we have been fundraising for Extra Life for 13 years straight. Extra Life is game doing what they do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network hospital. The money we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion today. Now, I do also want to point out that if you are someone who is dying to get their hands on some Altered Confusion swag, such as the amazing hat, maybe the vinyl sticker, or maybe you want the coffee mug, you can go over to alteredconfusion.tv/merch. That's MERCH. And you can check out not only the hat, the sticker, the coffee cup, but you can also check out the dog bowl, or I should say pet food bowl. Sorry, pet food bowl.
I'm just saying, don't be discriminatory now.
It's a little.
It could be a small child
bowl.
It could be a cereal bowl.
I said it could be a dip bowl.
What? It has many. Exactly. It's a cylindrical item.
So anyways, if you want to check that stuff out,
options.
Once again, it's alteredconfusion.tv/merch. Okay, let's get back to it. All right, so we've got some exciting news for individuals out there who were kind of left in a little bit of a funk when it came out that Rooster Teeth was closing their doors, and so we didn't know the fate of their projects. The biggest one, of course, being Ruby. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for Ruby. Ladies and gentlemen, Viz Media is picking up Ruby. They will now be your distributor for all the show as well as all the merch. So Ruby shall live another day. I have no idea about the rest of the shows, but Ruby is still going.
The question is, will we see more Ruby, though? Like, I get the distribution angle because we want to see still on content streaming, but will they create more seasons? That's what
announcement, they did a video, and it was one of the series creators and the voice actress for Yang saying how excited they were about Viz Media picking up Ruby. So I'm assuming that there's going to be more.
That'd be awesome.
Yes, indubitably.
That'd be awesome.
So there is a light at the end of the tunnel for Ruby. I don't know about, like I said, I don't know about the rest of their shows. I know that a lot of their podcast, podcast stuff, they've just basically spun off and done a different, basically the same thing but under a different name, which is usually what happens with that kind of stuff. So, but exciting news, Ruby. Indeed. All right, so this one is a question that came in while I was at the question that came in while I was at the beach, and I'm going to bring it up now. Zealeus, with all these amazing TV series and
42.
movies that are being created exclusively for streaming services, so we're talking a digital distribution platform. It's streaming. What is your take on these companies maybe turning around and doing limited edition physical copies of season 1 of insert brand, let's say Arcane?
I mean, if that's your thing, I think that's cool. It's kind of like, I'm 100% a digital media person when it comes to my television watching. But for instance, books, I'm 100% still a novel book reader. So there are absolutely out there still people who like the physical media. I think the tricky part is, if you're in the, most people who like physical media still have the digital streaming services, like in this case, Netflix for Arcane. But if like it's already come out in streaming and they're interested and there was not a physical media
Right.
option at the time, they probably already watched it online. And then it's like, oh, after the fact, now it's a physical media. That's just great. Whereas it might be more impactful if they released it with the like physical access simultaneously. Um, I know it's more of a, I know it's not like their cash cow anymore, obviously. And they're not doing it for that reason, but there would be some people because you do definitely lose you definitely lose visual fidelity by streaming 100%. You're only going to get the best if you have like, which most people have now is the 4K TV, if you actually have a Blu-ray player. Um, so there is that rationale over having the actual physical media. Um, is you're going to get a better quality
Right.
image if that's you care that much about the little pixels. But if that's your thing, then I say cool.
I
Why not? Go
too
for it.
am. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, it's digital. Why would I spend all my money? The thing is, I think that we're seeing this in AAA title video games as well. Is I feel like there's probably some unwritten threshold that once you surpass that, and I think in the case of Arcane, because this is really where I think the question came from, is that Arcane is ending
Yeah.
at the end of season 2. They're only doing 2 seasons, which is mind-boggling. No, there's so much content they can still do, but at the same time,
I know.
why not? I mean, there's going to be an end. The viewership and the fandom for Arcane has always stayed pretty dang stable and steady. So you've got enough eyes and ears and enough buzz still going on the internet. So why not see what happens with a limited run? Not the beautiful thing about the age we live in now is that Riot and whoever the animation studio behind it is doesn't have to put it in brick and mortar stores. They can sell it straight from their website, cut out that type of thing. They can, there's going to be, 2,000 of these limited edition things. And of course, you're going to have those people out there who are going to buy it simply to put it on eBay or whatever, because they're more interested. But it's what do you call it? When you make something harder to obtain. There it is. Scarcity of resources. Yeah.
Scarcity of resources. Artificial scarcity. Yeah. Now, what would be cool though is so we know season 2 is coming out. If they almost did it like a season 1 and season 2, obviously when it's released online for streaming, like a simultaneous release, that would actually be pretty cool. I think there would actually be a lot of people who would be interested in getting that physical release copy for
that would be
season 2
as well
when it comes out.
But from my understanding, I think they're only doing season 1 right now for the heart. But
that's what
speaking of Zealeus was talking about how he's super digital with like his video games and his TV and movie viewing, but he's still, into the hard copies of. Yes. Okay. Well, here, Zealeus,
I like to kill trees. Damn it!
I have killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books worth of trees. Now, the reason behind this is, I talked this up at the beginning of the year. Falstaff Books was having a Kickstarter. It was 5 new books, 3 new series from authors John Hartness, Patrick Dugan, and Darren Kennedy. The series the books were Stone Cold Witch by Patrick Dugan, which is the Nexus Witch Book 1. Then you had The Songs of the Ascendant, Volume 1, 2, and 3 by Darren Kennedy. and then John Hartness's book, The Seven Unforgiven, which I should probably be showing on the screen instead of just reading it, because here's the John Hartness book right here, The Seven Unforgiven, and then the Darren Kennedy Songs of the Ascendant. Here's the first one, Shadows of the Night, then All Fired Up, and then You Better Run, and then finally the Patrick Dugan book, which is Stone Cold Witch. Now, of course, I believe I think you could get it on, at this time, I think you can now get these books on Amazon. But I did get my copies in. So
Nice.
once I complete the
So
book
are
I'm
those
currently
next on
reading on
your
my
to-read
Kindle, I
list
will
in life
probably
then?
break into John Hartness's book first, because I've read a ton of his stuff and I like his stuff. I'm not as well versed in. I don't think I've ever read Darren Kennedy's books. I think I've read a Patrick Dugan book, but I'll do the John Hartness book first. Yeah. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Just wanted to give him a shout out for that before I forget again.
I've been killing my trees by
Yeah.
reading Solo Leveling, the manga.
Yep. Mhm.
So here's my challenge with manga, especially something like Solo Leveling, right? I find I have to force myself to slow down reading it, because like if I
Oh
don't
God, yes.
like pay
Oh God,
attention,
yes.
I could read the entire manga in like an hour. So it's like something like that where like I mean it's beefy, but like slow down, like kind of I really like to make sure like I slow down, like enjoy the artwork and everything else, to take it nice and slow going through it,
On
so I don't like read the entire series in like a week. So I'm
I
really
completely agree. My
forcing
problem is
myself
that
to be
I'll get
paced while
in
reading these
like in a
mangas.
certain groove where all I'm reading is the text bubbles, and I'm not really taking in the whole scene, which I feel bad about, and that's why
Yeah.
I go through it twice now. Once I just read it so that I
Yep.
get it, and then I'll
I do
go
the same
back
thing.
and then really try to soak in all of the ambiance and atmosphere on the second go through.
Like, are you talking about reading the
The
entire
book.
book a second go through, or like those pages that are open a second go through? Okay, I do it differently. Like, I'll read it
No, I
quickly,
go
like the
I
pages, and then I'll go back to
because I
those
know I'm
individual
gonna
pages and
I'll
soak the pages in.
there's a very good chance that I'll stumble and do the exact same damn thing over again. So maybe if I go third time, I don't know, but if it's good enough, I'll come back to it. Or for some of the other manga
Nice.
that I read, I've just waited till the omnibuses come out, where it's pretty freaking meaty, and it will take me a while to get through. Yeah.
Now the problem is, I texted Charlie about this. So, like in Solo Leveling, you get like these items that the guy picks
Yep.
up. I cannot read like the font on the page.
Yeah.
I literally like my glasses on. I really don't have bad eyesight. I think it's actually like the size of the font. So I actually take my phone on the 3x zoom and like take a picture so I can like actually see what the actual
Oh yeah.
items and like special abilities and shit are. That's my only complaint. I'm like, and that would be the like one advantage, to be fair, having it on the Kindle.
I actually have to figure this one out about the
whatever they're
Kindle,
calling
because
it
I don't
nowadays.
know like how the zoom would work for mangas, but like you've got.
I'm doing Berserk
Okay, so
on the
I
manga
know
on my Amazon
I've had it
Kindle,
on
and it works great.
different tablets before.
It does. And like it's not pixelated. Like it's like they've obviously whatever they did with it, it's like when you zoom in, it's not like you're zooming in like a JPEG from the 2000s. It's like still very clear when you zoom in. And I would assume I don't obviously have solo leveling on the Kindle, but I assume it's no different, which it's beautiful on the paperback, but that'd actually probably be
Right.
a really
Right.
good one to actually have the digital format so you could really zoom in on some of that artwork. But I'm definitely thoroughly enjoying the manga. It's
Yes.
definitely
Yes.
some things have happened
Yes.
that I was definitely not expecting.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh. And then of course there's the books you could
Which
also do.
I'm tempted to maybe even try. I don't know.
Like,
Damn it. Hold on. I'll be
I
right
am
back.
very
Zealeus, you
curious
can
about the
keep
book, to
talking
be
about
honest.
the books. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I've looked at the books. I was at the bookstore. They had them because it's super popular. It's also super popular in Crunchyroll, apparently. And it is kind of cool how they did the formatting with the books because they actually like space things out depending on what you see, like with the levels and the abilities. My question would be, which obviously you'd have to get a paperback book to actually see, do the books follow the story of the manga? Because the manga came after the books. So my assumption is to some extent, yes, it does. And also, and probably Charlie can fill this in with us, does the online TV anime on Crunchyroll also follow the books? Or in this case, the manga, because we have not read the books. So maybe my next question to Charlie when he comes back is, does the Crunchyroll anime follow the manga? Very curious to see. Um, so as Charlie is not here, we often talk about video games we played. And over the past week, I played a open alpha of Core Punk. It is a action RPG that I did not really enjoy because it's like an MMO action RPG. And the idea is you can get their tent. It's not easy. Like it's not made to be an easy game. But the problem is, it's like you still kind of stand there and just get hit by shit. And like you don't replenish health unless you find a fire to replenish your health. Um, and it just was not a very user friendly, enjoyable experience in that regard for my playing it. It's like it was hard for the sake of being hard. Versus take an ARPG like Wicked, which is a Souls like ARPG, but like there's ways to like dodge out of attacks and to deal with the difficulty of being like not just a Diablo hack and slash, but actual hack and slash we actually think and strategize. Um, whereas playing Core Punk, the style of it, I didn't really feel that way to really strategize to prevent myself from losing those hit points. It really to have a way to then get those hit points back in a very easy and sustainable way. The other issue is walking around in Core Punk was freaking boring. Um, like you start down here, you're supposed to walk up to a village, and he tells you to go find this random person. You don't actually know who they are. So you're just like randomly walking around, and like you're level 2, and like level 2 creatures, like 2 or 3 of them are going to kill you. It just was not a very fun and enjoyable experience. So don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if they can continue in that vein because the way Core Punk is set up right now, it's going to fail. I just don't think there's going to be that ARPG audience for a MMO type of ARPG like that. That's just not even difficult, just not user friendly. So I was talking about is Core Punk had an alpha. It's an ARPG, and basically it's hard for the sake of being hard. Where like basically if you're level 2 and you face 2 or 3 level 3 like rats, they're gonna kill you. And like there's no way to regen your health. There's no easy way to regen your health. Mm-hmm. And what's become a very diluted ARPG scene between Diablo 4, Last Epoch, Lost Ark. You have all these games. I just don't think it's going to have a place. And it seems like Wicked, No Rest for the Wicked is filling that Souls-like type of hard ARPG niche right now, but there's a way to be good, basically, and have skill with it. I just feel like Core Punk's not going to be able to find that market. Mm-hmm. if it keeps up that prohibitively difficult, but not in a fun difficult. It's
Right.
not like a fun Souls way where like you just have to get good and learn to dodge. It's not even like fun. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna get hit by 2 level 3
I
rats
gotcha.
and die.
Sorry, guys.
Um,
Apparently,
that's just my take on it from playing the alpha.
Amazon decided to deliver all of our Prime Day packages all at once, and so I had to. I don't know. Like I literally was just
And
they
is it
they
still
were trying to
storming where
ring
you
the
are?
doorbell.
Yeah, so I was playing something earlier today in like in the middle of like an online session with other
Mm-hmm.
people, and all of a sudden it's
Yep.
like
Yep.
torrential downpour,
Yep.
and all my
Yep.
Amazon shit gets delivered. I'm like, sorry
I
guys,
I
got to go
I
get this
think I
before like
heard
my
Zealeus
stuff
ask
gets
me a
ruined.
question about
Um,
um yeah, solo leveling.
Soul leveling. So my question is, does the
Pretty
anime
much.
follow
Although I
the
do wish there were
manga?
more episodes, because I think
Okay.
that's one of them that only has like they're
Hmm.
like season 1, and it's like I want to say, hold on, let me double check here real quick before I say anything. Um, I think there's okay, there's 12 episodes. So it's not. I mean, that's kind of become like the new standard of
Okay.
especially on Crunchyroll, is the first season of anything gets 12 episodes. Yep. But it better be coming back for a second one, because gosh darn it,
And then
it
see
needs
what
to come
happens
back for, well,
almost.
there's a lot of ones that need
Yeah.
to come back for a second one, but that's solo leveling definitely needs to come back as well. Mm-hmm.
So I see. I don't know what they are, but all these Crunchyroll animes, they're all like, I was a level
Yep.
99 sorcerer and I got rejuvenated as a level 1 weakest warrior ever. What are those? Like, I swear, like
Yes, yes. So
90%
it's
of them are
called
these, like, I
isekai.
got
It's
rejuvenated.
you
Is
die
this like a
or
whole like
get teleported
genre that
from
I
one
don't
world
even like?
and get thrown into another. You either die and get reincarnated in a new world, or
Okay.
uh, the I think the accepted thing is someone invokes the hero spell or hero summoning. Yeah. No, no.
Yes, I saw that
Just
literal
some of the
description on
titles.
anime.
It's
I'm
like
like, what
reading a
is
fucking book
this?
just to get through the title.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I've
Oh
until
God,
like
yes.
6 months ago when I got my Crunchyroll membership, I didn't know this was a thing. Now, what was really interesting was when I was in, so like I feel like our Barnes and Nobles here don't really have those large of like manga sections. When I was in Minnesota at the Mall of America, their
So
Barnes
if you
and
go to
Noble,
the
I
Barnes
swear,
and
like a
Noble, for
quarter of the
those
entire
in the
Barnes and
Atlanta
Noble's
area, you go to
manga.
the Barnes and Noble behind Perimeter Mall. They have a pretty good sized manga section now. It's basically where all of the music and movies used to be. That's where
Hmm.
that's basically the manga section now.
Ah, yes.
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, side rant,
Yep.
something that really annoys me. The local library,
Yeah.
they have this teen section. It's very clearly like nobody under the age of teen is allowed.
I know.
But like, I look in there, I'm like, these are all books I want to read. Damn it!
See,
Like,
here
can I
here
not go
here
in there to
is
check out these books that
the
actually sound really
Zealeus's
interesting?
downfall with having to stick
I don't.
with physical media. I can read all of those books that Zealeus is dying to read, because all I got to do is just go in the Kindle store and download it. Muhahaha. Okay,
Fair
so real
enough.
quick, I do want to. There was a game that I did a playthrough of a while ago. It's based off of a graphic novel series called Fables. Um, this it they made the first season.
Mm,
It's called The Wolf Among Us. You basically get to play as the big bad wolf, and the big bad wolf is a detective, kind of like a private eye. Yes, yes, I loved the shit out of it. And then there was the
you played
promise
this
of a
game, right?
second one, and then
Yeah,
of
I
course,
recognize it.
Telltale Games went, and there is
Yep.
news saying that this game is still in development. It was first announced in 2017 that that The Wolf Among Us 2 was going to be developed, and it was supposed to launch in 2018. Of course, Telltale sold basically all its IPs in 2019. And yeah, so it now looks like it's still in development, but basically everyone's saying that don't hold your breath. It's probably still not going to be released this year either. So it's will be 8 no. So it's supposed to be 2018. So yeah, 7 or 8 years after its original launch window, maybe we'll actually get to see it. Yes. One can only hope.
Maybe you'll eventually get to
Yes.
see it.
One can hope, one can pray. Oh,
You never know.
Speaking of playthroughs, I am currently recording the latest playthrough for Alter Confusion. I know it's been a while since I've done one, and I apologize for that. But the game that I am playing right now, and it is messed up, is a game called Still Wakes the Deep. It's a game centered around you are on basically an oil rig in the middle of the ocean, and the drill hits something, and shit goes sideways.
Oh.
And it screams
sounds like the perfect game
Cthulhu,
for Charlie, to be honest.
Lovecraftian. Mm-hmm.
Now, when you play the game,
Okay, so I had
you do
this
the thing where you turn off all the
conversation
lights
with
and
an
make it pitch
individual
black,
recently,
and you only
and
play it when it's
if
dark
I was
outside.
playing it just for me, and I wasn't trying to make a recording out of it, I would absolutely only be playing it at night. But because I'm making a playthrough of it, I'm basically playing it during the time where I am the sharpest, which is not always at night. Because that's the other thing. When I play at night, when it gets dark, I'm getting a little sleepy, so my reaction time's a little slowed. So when things pop out of nowhere and freak me the fuck out, I sometimes need a couple minutes to walk it off, and I can't do that during a playthrough. Yes. Yes.
Slow side tangent. So I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14, and now it's getting to raid content, which is basically hard material, right?
Yep.
The problem I'm finding is, so in the evening after dinner, I always have to drink something, right? My problem is, kind of like driving, my drinking slows down my reaction time in raids. I'm like,
Yep.
you know what? I might actually have to start buying Sprite or Fanta or something,
Yep.
like something to drink that's not going to slow down my video game
Oh, yeah.
reaction time, so I can do these crazy raids. Because I can definitely tell sometimes when I've
Yep.
had a few too many beers. Because it's easy when you're playing a video game to have a couple of beers
Oh, yeah.
just sitting there. So after a couple of beers is when I've noticed,
Right.
this is
Oh,
a
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
So, if you drink a couple of Fantas, then you're fine. Yeah, so I've actually considered doing that. Where I intentionally don't have soda at home
Right.
because I know I'll drink it. But if
Yeah.
it's basically just a
No.
beer replacement,
Speaking
when I'm
of
doing
gaming,
that, I'm like, maybe
and,
that's
and
an option.
streaming, for those of you who tuned in this past Tuesday, you saw a first for me. I beat Kronos in Hades 2.
Oh,
That SOB finally went down.
let's go!
So it is at
Yeah.
this moment
Now, is
the
Kronos
final
the
boss
supposed
in
final
the
boss,
deepest
or is it just one of the
depths
bosses?
of Hades. Or yeah, exactly. So there's still
Nice.
more to
Well, of course,
to happen,
still
but I
early
finally
access technically.
I got the base in game. I got the complete run stat window for the first time. I'm like, yes, you went down.
Nice. There you go.
um, I will never understand how people. I have to have a fast weapon. I have to. Like there's this like super duper
Mm,
axe that deals out like a ton of damage, but it's so slow. And I'm a button
yeah.
masher, man. So like, I could get maybe like 8, 10 of my little knife stabbies in while the axe is basically wound up and then hits the ground. Now when it hits, it's gonna hurt a lot, but I can't.
You gotta be super strategic, man. You gotta
Oh no,
like
I mean
know better
and also
telegraphs where
speaking
they're
of
going.
drinking
You
while
just gotta
gaming,
get good,
I
bro.
cannot at all. I can drink like my water, my Mountain Dew, but no alcohol during Hades because that will absolutely ruin everything because there's so much precision
Oh,
on certain
yep.
boss fights that my ass would be grass. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other game I'm playing, so I started playing First Ascendant. Um, basically, it's a free to play looter shooter. Um, it literally like if somebody didn't play Destiny for a couple years and you put
Mm-hmm.
up the game, you'd be like, all right, is this Destiny? And they'll probably
Uh-huh.
be like, yeah, it looks like Destiny. It feels like Destiny. It plays like Destiny, but it's not Destiny. Um, it also
Mm-hmm.
kind of feels a little bit like Outriders. So it's just kind of that action looter shooter. But the thing that they do that is I like, so typically when I play Destiny, I
Right.
always am big into playing online with other people um, for various reasons. Kind of like you, like it just didn't really work. But what they did with um, First Ascendant, I like is so when you go to a land, you can either do solo
Mm-hmm.
mode or open. And naturally, the first couple of maps, I'm like, I'm gonna play solo mode, right?
Yeah.
And then one time I forgot to like because the default is public, and I forgot to change the mode.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden I'm playing and I'm doing a mission, and somebody else just joins me, and it's very like synchronous joining to the missions. And there's really no way to grief that I found. I'm sure there's somebody who's found a way, don't get me wrong. But from what I've seen in the missions, because that's always a big issue with online gaming is griefing from like
Mm-hmm.
your randomly made parties. So basically, I mean, these are like 5 minute missions also. Like these are super quick in and out. So in this quick 5 minute mission, and either somebody will teleport to you or they'll teleport to you. There's really not a way to grief it. They just kind of do the thing, and it's a very easy way of doing it. Like, doesn't bring you out of the game. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a very level way of doing
Mm-hmm.
online
Mm-hmm.
quick grouping. So, like, you automatically groups you
Right.
into these missions if you're in a public mode only, and then as soon as that mission is over, boom, you're out of the group. So it's not like because that's the issue with a lot of them too. Like you group up, and now you're in this
Right.
awkward group on a PlayStation 5. I don't know how the hell to create or exit a group on the PlayStation 5 if I wanted to. It just
Mm-hmm.
does it all for you. So the way it does the online gameplay, I actually really like, and it's just totally smooth sailing. So I've been playing a lot of that lately too. So that's kind of been my looter shooters being First Ascendants.
Oh.
Um, the drawback
Uh,
is it's also a Nexon game, which means yes. Um, yeah, so you could also tell where there's the grind for shit. And the funny thing about the grind for shit is you do all this grinding for stuff, you get your materials to like build something, and oh wait, there's also a now research time to build it. I'm like, motherfucker,
yup.
I spent hours grinding for this. Not to wait another 6 hours to actually build it. Like, yeah. So it's like a double whammy. So but so I mean, with what the developer has done with the core gameplay loop, I like, but then you
I got
have
you.
the
I
Nexon
got you.
monetization on top of
Um,
that. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes in the long term.
I wanted to shoot. Hold on, make sure that I. Nope. What the hell have I been reading? Oh, there we go. I wanted to say something about the book I was reading. I totally clicked on the wrong thing. Um, I don't know if you've ever read anything by the author Dan Simmons. Okay, well, there's a book series called Hyperion, or the Hyperion Cantos,
I have not.
and the first book is called Hyperion. It is pretty good. I read the first one a month to the second one, so I can't complain. But yeah, that's the book that I've got to finish before I jump over to Hartness's book.
Nice.
So, but anyways, all right, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've reached the end of our show, so I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Ultra Fusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure getting ready to come our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Ultra Fusion Thursday Night Hangout. Amen to that, brother. And we're out. Hooray. Okay. Huzzah. No, seriously, dude. I did a happy little dance when I finally
survived
beat
another
Kronos
week of the
because
show.
I have gone up against Kronos,
Heads up.
I think 8 or 9 times, and he's got different phases.
And of course, the hard part is you have to get all the way to him in the first place.
Yep.
And of course, the hard part is you have to get all the way to him in the first place just to see him. Yeah, that's what's always hard to me about any kind of rogue game like that. Is like it's one thing facing that boss, but you're not going to make it to that boss every time in the first place, and then you get to him, you still got to like get that down.
Then the Siren, then the Hellhound, and then him. So you got to beat 3 big bad bosses before you can get to him. But I was rocking some pretty sweet boons from the gods and goddesses of Olympus, so I was ready to roll. Yeah.
You are ready. Let's go. So it's funny, all of like, I really don't subscribe to many people on Twitch. It has the recommended channels, and they're all Throne and Liberty. So obviously, it's open beta for the next 5 days, and it's supposed to be the next like big MMO. I think it's why.
Anywho, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the stream. I got to talk to Zealeus off the stream, but